Okay, guys, how we doing? Sam here with you. It's Wednesday, the 3rd of April, and so you guys saw the polling request. So we're going to look at, well, I'm trying to get 3 done here, but first up is Icon, ICX to the dollar tether here on Binance. I'm on Binance, that's where the volume is. So I can understand why you want to look here. This is a really challenging count. It took me a bit to get something that works here. Now, before I walk you through it, I would encourage you guys, just bring up a blank chart, see if you can get a count that works. All right, that's before I show it to you. And even if you watch this, you won't remember it all. Just come back. Let's go back to this February 19th low and see if you can get a working count to work through the pivots and the swings that we have. It's definitely a challenging one. Now, I make the point of showing this here as we get a true double bottom, but unlike some of the other larger projects, Bitcoin, etc., we can't look at this as an A and then an A, B, C to come down here, because we actually do get a new low. So if you really zoom down here on this, you can see we do break. So this has to be the completion of something, and then coming off of it, well, the 1-2 is a little challenging, but that's the best you can get down there. So this has to be the working low, and that we completed. So we start down here at this February low. Now, coming off of this here, so I'm going to go, let's go to the 30-minute here, because this is definitely tricky. So this is the part right here. Oh, let's see, we can just do it this way. This massive sell-off here creates the challenges to your counts because it's overlapping so many things here. So it reduces the probabilities and possibilities as to where your one is. So there's a couple things to note here. To give you the broader count that I think we have working here, I think we've gone 1, 2 here, 3 here, down to the 4, and we've gone up for a 5 to complete the 1 wave. All right, so this gives us, This gives us a completed impulse. Push it off here. So the symmetry is not crazy. We get a nice strong kick in the 3rd, or pardon me, in the 5th here. So you can see we go. It's a much steeper look. Well, you can just look at it, right? So see, we're gradually moving through the 3rd, and then we get a big kick in the 5th. But we do get an impulse here. Now, the subdivision is definitely tricky here. So again, you have to allow for that very small 1, 2, 3, 4. We get our 1 here. Now, this is a good case where wicking off these critical pivots. You can see here I've wicked off a couple others just looking left that came into play. So this pivot here, and again, this is right to the tick using the magnet. Look how we come right up and challenge it again. Then potentially here it becomes the support, and then we drive higher. So coming off of this definitely tricky here. So we've got to go 3, 4, and then a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give us the 1 wave here. And I've got that wicked off. Then A, B, and then we come down for the C of the 2 here relative to that 1. Right, so a shallow 2, but the subdivision plays, and then we've got to go again 1, 2, and then here's where it got tricky. I think we have to go with a diagonal, a leading diagonal into the 1, A, B, C into the 2. We got to go 3, 4, and 5. So we've got the extension through that diagonal into the 1, 2, 3, skinny little 4, and then a little push up to give us the 5 here, which gives us our 3rd. So within that 3rd, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't overlap the 1 here. Now, right? This 1 is not relative anymore. It's only this 1 that's relative to this 4. So by using this as the 1, right? And we can, it's skinny, but you got to go 3, 4, 5 into the 1. A, B, C into the 2, leading diagonal into the 1, A, B, C, 3, 4, 5 to give us a 3rd here. Now, it's a straight rip down, so you've got to go A, B, C, right? Which, it's kind of sucks, but, there's not another way to get this to play here, so you've got to allow for this very skinny 4, right? I know, right? As soon as you start saying things like, well, you got to allow for, so you pause there and go, am I missing something? But there is 5 into this low here. There is a little A, B, C here, but boy, I mean, they all break down at some point, but that's not much of a C, yet it's the only thing we've got to work with. So coming off of that, I think we go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. We get a little truncation in the 4 here, but the technical bit here from the, come here, from the 2 to the 3, right? So golden zone, target is hit. There's just a blatant algo play in here. If I back this out here, that, oh, it's worth noting. It's so solid here. So just working off of the low here. Trading view is a pain sometimes. Just working off of the low here. All right, up to my 3 here, we get this. Let me get that right on it here. So you can see this down to the 50 and then right to target reaction. So we know this is an algo that was playing in here. Right, so dominant swing to this pivot, straight down, algos kick in, right to target, profit taken. So that, of course, we know algorithms are in here. So there's the 1, 2, that gives us the 3, right? 3 ABC into the 4, and then up for the 5. What I propose to use the 5 of the 1. So putting it all back together, let's go back to the hourly. This gives us a 1, 2. So all of this structure now, so the prior resistance, now becomes the support. So that gives us our 1, 2. So from the low down here up to the 1, well, it's, you know, we don't make the 50. Now, is it the structure? Is it a front run on the 50? Hard to say, but take note where we go, right? Right to the next target. So again, algorithms all over the place in here. So if this is 1, 1, 2, then I think likely we've just gone into another 1, 2. This is the third of, well, you know, it's hard to know what degree you're in here. But it would appear that we're going up to try and get the third of this degree here in green. So this would be all much higher. Right? Of course, we got to put them somewhere. So if we're going to get a 1, 2, and then we're going to go up to get a full 1, 6, 1, 8 here for on that degree, well then 1, 2, is the 3 done? Well, you know, it's hard to know. Right? So no way to really say for sure until we see a 4 bring into a 4. So we've gone through, and you can make a case here. You had a little pullback there that maybe 3, 4, and we're in the 5. Until I see what comes next, I think no reason to. You probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The subdivisions there. I go down to that on a 30. 1, 2. Looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a little soon to start calling a top in there. Now, if we get up here, it's going to get to be pushing a little bit more of what would be typical right now. So nothing says we have to stop there, but the 2618 is a reasonable target. Now note here, we're tagging that larger algo target here as we're bumping into the 200 off of this. So it's just a little soon to call the top in here. We could easily get up here, and then we'll look for something like this. There's your next trade. I can't recommend being a buyer up here after this big run. So now you're just kind of patiently waiting. It does look like we've got some structure here that may come into play. So if that's 1, 2 of the third, right, hard to know, right? So because there's almost no retrace. So we can't go 1, 2, 3. So this has got to be likely. We get a little diagonal into what could be here our 1, 2 of the third. So 1, 2, putting in the 3, 4, 5. Does not look like we're done yet. So I'd be just kind of cautiously waiting here. I want to see this get a pivot up here, and then the real test will be, do we get the 4, 5? All right. So that's the only way we can know. Now this 1, 2, if we're going to go up and get the 3, 4, let's bring this a little bit more. So let's go back out to that hourly and kind of see where this is leading us here per this roadmap. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going in. So this is very bullish, very, very encouraging, but we've got to get some resolution here. So the 1, 2, if this is going to be our third, well, we need to get a good, clean, aggressive impulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we done yet? Right? We don't know where that 3 is going to be. Nothing says we have to stop here, right? So if it's going to go, if we're going to get a 1, 2, and we're going to get up here is the 3, well, then you got to just get in the process of trying to figure out how we're getting there. 3, we're going to have this 4, something like that. So 1, 2, 3. Just trying to get a roadmap. 3, 4, 5. So where's the next trade? Well, at some point we're going to come up here. We'll start. There'll be some sort of a 4. You know, again, I'm just free drawing. There's the next trade that I see, because I just can't be comfortable buying here, right? Shit, right in the middle of nowhere here. Now let's see if we have anything to look at coming back. I'm gonna have to go back out a little bit. Okay, so if we're gonna go up to a target like this, well, that's going to be worth noting here. So here's the last pivot before we head down. You know, so we're going to get through the golden zone. Of course, you'd have to immediately check back 1. So now that looks kind of interesting. So there, that being the 50 from the dominant, the higher pivot, if we're going to start to roll here, and this has got additional legs to get up to this level for the 3rd, that's a reasonable spot. Well, we can see all this structure here. So, you know, come here. All of this wicking action likely to come into play here as some resistance. So there's a roadmap that could have us getting there and stay consistent with what we're seeing here. So 3, 4. So you got to wait. You're sitting at an algo target. I just wouldn't be a buyer here. Now, hitting an algo target is not a sell signal here, and nothing says we have to stop there. But you're buying here. Yeah, I can't recommend a buy there, right? So let me just put it this way: I wouldn't buy it there. I'd wait. I want to see the 4 come in, right? So let me get the 3 completed. Let me see the 4. If I've got a 4, then I get a few things to work with. Then I can get a channel to get started here. So if this is my 2, and I get a 4 like this, then I get a little bit of structure to work with to give me some sense of what the symmetry potentially sets up to give me here if I'm going to get this 3 here, then down for the 4, and again, no way to know, but those are reasonable targets that we'd be heading towards as we go up towards the golden zone. So see what you come up with, right? The first bit, very, very challenging to get that to work. Right, that's a great exercise to see if you can get a clean count that doesn't violate any rule set there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I see. So it's a bit of hurry up and wait to get this 3rd completed. Wait for the 4. That's your next trade. But understand that that's gonna, you're gonna have limited upside here, because at some point we're gonna get that 3rd, start the 4th, and then the next trade will be the 4 to the 5. Right, so as to whether or not you're taking full profit, if you get this and that's realized, as to whether or not you want to take the full trade off there, let the 4 come down, or just a partial looking for the 4, 5. Right, that's individual choice. But interesting count, right? See what you can get there. All right, guys, back to you later.